Hey guys, so for today's video, I just wanted to talk about the Miss Teen USA controversy. Sorry, Monkey is like a stage 5 clinger today, so she may be here for a while. If you guys don't know, there's like a few different issues going on with Miss Teen USA pageant. If you saw it, then you saw that Chrissy Teigen had commented on the fact that the entire top 5 of Miss Teen USA were all white girls who are blonde. And that kind of spiraled a bunch of other reactions from a bunch of other people who were watching the pageant. And then Texas wound up winning. Her name is Carly Hayes, and she won, whatever. People did some research on her, and they found a bunch of, like, a whole string of racist tweets, or tweets of her using racial slurs, on Twitter, like, years ago, from, I think it was like 20, maybe not even that long ago, actually, 2013, 2014. So it was years ago, but it still happened. And then there is a whole other controversy with the Miss Florida USA pageant, where Miss Florida USA had gotten dethroned a few days after she had won the pageant because she used a makeup artist. And in the contract, you're not allowed to use a makeup artist backstage. They wanted all the girls to be able to do their own hair and makeup and to make everything fair for each of the girls competing. So they wound up taking the title from her and giving it to her first runner-up. So here's my opinion on all of it, because you guys asked. So as far as the top 5 being all white blonde girls, that's competition for you. A lot of the times when I'm competing, actually, specifically in New York, there's usually never... First off, I'm a redhead. You never see redheads in the top 5. It is so rare that you'll ever see a redhead in the top 5. I personally don't care. There's also fewer redheads who compete in general anyway, so proportionality is not really going to happen. But as far as, like, blondes, competing in New York, blondes a lot of the times get overlooked. They just don't really happen to win. It's usually, like, brunettes or whoever. It's just... Blondes just don't happen to win. Competing in a pageant, or competing in a competition in general, I feel like if you're looking for statistics to be equal as far as, like, diversity goes, then you can't be in a competition, because when you're competing, there are performances that happen and people are rated on their performance. And yes, it's a pageant, and I understand where people's concerns go with the looks, but at the same time, if you know about pageants, then you know that there's, like, things that are considered: your poise, your choice of evening gown, the way you're holding yourself, your speaking abilities in interview, all of these other things that, first off, you don't even get to directly see, even just as a viewer on the stage, things that go on behind the scenes. So for people getting upset saying that the Miss Universe organization is racist because they're picking this stereotypical cookie cutter pageant girl, I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I think that if you're going to be in a competition arena and you're going to be in that zone, don't ever look for statistics to be completely equally diverse, because if that's the case, then it's not a competition and it's just a show that happens to please the crowd. That's not what competition is. And I know everyone can practically agree with me on that, I would think, because that's just not how competition works. With that said, Miss Florida USA getting her title taken away for using a hair and makeup artist backstage, I would say that's fair. I understand that it's maybe a little bit of an extreme approach for the Miss Universe organization to take a title away from a girl for something that maybe seems quite petty, but being on stage and being in a pageant, the way that you obviously look and the way you hold yourself is a huge part of your score. It's pretty much almost all of your score, aside from the performance factor. And so if this girl had advantages by having professional people backstage when you're not allowed to, and no other girl had that opportunity, then that is definitely an unfair advantage, and you are breaking the rules of the pageant, which you already know prior to competing, because they send you a whole huge, like, contract before you compete of what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, and you have to sign every single page, initial every single bottom of the page, and you're agreeing to their rules of the pageant. So I think that if they are going to take away her title, what happened with Miss Teen USA now with the racial slurs on Twitter, I don't know how it wouldn't necessarily be fair for them to not take away her title. I understand where people were saying, yes, everybody makes mistakes, and yes, this was something that happened years ago. But at the same time, when you are becoming a title holder, you're presenting yourself for like years. Like, you have to understand, like, this is not just what's going on the stage. It's not just let me stand on stage and be my best version of myself while I'm on stage. It's pretty much what you've done your entire life leading up to that point that they're judging you off of. So I don't really know how they're allowing her to keep the title. I don't necessarily think that that's fair, and especially with what's going on in society right now, I think that people are hypersensitive to any sort of use of any racial slurs, that it does seem quite odd to me that they're allowing her to keep the title, yet they dethroned Florida USA over something like hair and makeup. I think that that's a little disproportionate, and I understand that maybe dethroning someone can bring major negative publicity to the organization as a whole, but like, especially with her being a national title holder per having a state title, I just don't know if I agree with it. I feel like, you know, I know she was saying, she put out this big apology that she said that, like, this wasn't an accurate representation of herself, and that she had her rough time and she's matured as a person, everything. She wrote this whole long thing that you can check out on her Instagram, which was a nice like apology. But with that said, now that she's in a position of not so much power, but a position of influence in society, that's your job as Miss Teen USA, now you're affecting the people who are watching you. And in this point, when so many people are disappointed in what came out of her mouth, I'm not sure if she can even do her job properly. So that's basically my opinion on the whole thing. I don't think she should maybe necessarily keep her title because of that, but I do think that people getting upset over the top 5 being all blonde girls because they looked similar is a little ridiculous. Like, don't be in a competition if you can't handle competition, and don't look for political correctness in competition, because that's not competition. That's not what that's about. So that's basically that. I kind of feel sorry that Florida had gotten her title taken away, yet Teen USA gets to keep her title. I just think it's kind of unfair. I don't know what you guys think, but that's basically my opinion. A lot of people asked on my old what my thoughts were on the Miss USA pageant. You can click here to watch that video. A lot of people from that video had asked me to do a video on this, and so that's basically it. Other than that, I really don't have much to say. I know that if it was my pageant, I would be running it quite differently, because for someone like myself, I take social media pretty seriously, and I think that your job really entails what you've done in the past, especially on social media, because these things do come up, and they obviously, so I think it's something you need to watch. And if it's something that you're interested in doing, or you're interested in getting a job or something, just clear out your social media, clear out old pictures. I go through old pictures all the time, even just me posting like a negative status, like if I'm in a bad mood and I'm like, all right, well, I'm so mad at this today, whatever, I'll go back and I'll delete it, because I'm like, okay, that was kind of ridiculous. Like, I didn't need to be that negative. Nobody needs to know every little detail about my life. So I just think that if you want to be in that kind of position, you need to go back and erase everything. Yes, we all make mistakes, but when it's still out there and you're now in that position of influence, then it's going to become a problem, and you can't expect it to not become a problem. So that's that. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation down in the comments section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I'm not sure if I said anything offensive, but I probably did. Yeah, that's basically it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button either, and to watch my last video, which was a review on the Maybelline Age Rewind Foundation and Concealer, which you can go click right here to go watch that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video in a few days. Alright.